Białystok, Poland, January 2009. A microscope slide arrives at the medical university with a problem on it. The problem is that the tissue on the slide should not exist, but it does. 2 professors are about to sign their names to it anyway. It began as a communion host, dropped at a mass in October 2008 and put in water to dissolve. When they looked inside the vessel, the bread had turned red. What it became is still argued today. 2 professors of pathology examined it separately, without consulting each other. Both wrote the same finding: heart muscle, human. One said she had seen its like only in a living body. This has now happened, under laboratory conditions, in 5 separate cases on 3 continents, across 13 centuries, and each time the labs report the same thing: human heart muscle. In several of them, the same rare blood type. But before you decide what that means, you should know the Church's own record here. It has ruled cases like these fake, out loud, in public. 3 loops for this file. 1. What the labs actually wrote. 2. What a fair skeptic says back, at full strength. 3. The one pattern neither side has explained away. Read this the way the Church itself reads it, not looking for a miracle, looking for a reason to throw it out. Start with what actually happens when a Catholic reports a bleeding host. Not celebration, an investigation. And the first people called are not priests, they are doctors. Because the Church has been fooled before. For centuries, bread and polenta and communion hosts have turned blood red on their own, with no miracle involved at all. The culprit has a name: Serratia marcescens, a common bacterium that grows blood-red colonies on starchy food in warm, damp air. Fooled people for centuries before anyone could see it. So a red host by itself proves nothing. The Church knows this better than any skeptic, which is exactly why, when a case survives the mold explanation, it is worth a second look. The test that matters is not the color. It is what the red thing is made of, and that is where the laboratories come in. 5 hosts survived long enough to reach a microscope. What follows is what the laboratories wrote, and what a fair skeptic says back on every single one. Lanciano, Italy, the oldest of them. A relic the tradition dates to the 8th century. A piece of flesh and clots of blood, kept in one church for over 1,000 years. In 1971, a pathologist named Odoardo Linoli examined it. His findings: human heart tissue, blood type AB, no preservatives. He published them in a real medical journal. Now, the honesty this channel promised. You have probably heard that the World Health Organization ran 500 tests and confirmed Lanciano. That story is false. The document is a forgery. An Italian cardiologist tracked down the actual paper. Between a cover page and a closing page about Lanciano, someone has spliced in pages of unrelated data about Egyptian mummies, a hoax, dressed up as science. So Lanciano keeps only what the real 1971 study found: 1 lab, 1 examiner, a relic too old to retest cleanly, strong and singular and unrepeated. Buenos Aires, 1996. A discarded host, left in water, turned to bloody tissue. The city's auxiliary bishop asked that it be photographed and preserved. His name was Jorge Bergoglio. You know his other name, Francis. Years later, a forensic examiner is filmed calling the sample inflamed heart muscle. White blood cells, he says, as though from a living, wounded heart. The caveats, at full strength. He never published it. His own textbook omits the case. And after his death, his widow said publicly, he never authenticated it, and the famous video is an edited clip. Which brings us back to Poland and the slide we opened on. Sokolka, 2008. This is the case that is hardest to wave away. Two histopathology professors examined it separately. Both found heart muscle, and both described the muscle fibers as woven into the bread fibers in a way, they wrote, impossible to achieve by human means. Their words, the cardiac tissue of a living organism. Local diocese affirmed the finding in 2009. Keep pushing, because honesty is the whole point. The university itself said the study was informal, done outside official channels, and proving human origin beyond doubt would need genetic testing never fully released. Two more cases fit the pattern. Tixtla, Mexico, 2006. Investigators concluded the blood came from inside the host, not smeared on. Type AB again. The local bishop called it a divine sign. Legnica, Poland, 2013. Forensic labs called the fragment human heart tissue, with changes they wrote, like those in a person during agony. But note what the church did not do. Rome never declared any of these a proven miracle. Tixtla and Buenos Aires, it has pointedly not approved. Even Legnica got only permission to venerate, never a verdict. So here's the skeptic's strongest hand, and it is a strong one. In 2024, a Catholic immunologist ran the test himself. He treated plain, unconsecrated wafers exactly the way these cases were handled. In about 1 in 7, a red substance grew on its own. Under the microscope, ordinary fungus. In his photographs, it looked just like the miracle cases. He is a believer. He published it anyway. Add the rest. Bacteria can make ordinary blood tests falsely as that rare type. The same few investigators ran several of these cases, and custody of the samples was often loose, sometimes for years. So a fair person has to hold two things at once. Some of these cases have real, honest, natural explanations, and not all of them fall to a single one. The pattern that survives is narrow, and worth stating carefully. Independent university labs on different continents keep reading the same tissue. Not skin, not mold. Cardiac muscle. It is not proof. This film will not tell you it is. There's no announced date here, no crowd of witnesses. There's only a strange, stubborn consistency the arguing has not dissolved. And there's one fact the skeptics rarely mention. The institution with the most to gain from these being miracles is the one throwing most of them out. Underneath the lab reports is a claim older and stranger than any of them. For 2,000 years, Catholics have knelt before that bread, believing it is not bread at all. That is the conviction these hosts sit inside. Not a magic trick to be caught on a slide. A belief that the bread of the altar is the living presence of Christ himself. You will hear these hosts compared to the Shroud of Turin, which one scientist typed as the same rare blood. Handle that gently. That finding was never published for other scientists to check. The point is not that science has proven the altar. It is that the church was never afraid to let science try. It handed its holiest claim to a microscope again and again. A faith terrified of the evidence would have kept the tabernacle locked. This one keeps inviting the doctors in and keeps writing down what they find, even when the answer is only mold. Go back to the slide in Poland. The tissue that should not exist. The laboratory could tell you what it is. It could never tell you how bread became a human heart. There is one more relic with that same contested blood type, a burial cloth kept in Turin. Its case file is already open on this channel. When you are ready, open it. Go in peace and be not afraid.